Welcome back to guys. It's time for another roller coaster chapter of Shojo Null. Welcome once again. I say roller coaster because we left off on a peak, we go down on this chapter, and we leave off on another peak. So, yeah, roller coaster on this series. We'll see next chapter, but this chapter did definitely intensify quite a bit. So, okay. Well, we know that Marie and Raya are being observed, and they definitely need to cover their tracks, essentially, and that's kind of what's happening in this chapter. Before anything, guys, if you have not done so by now, subscribe to my channel, give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can follow me on social media. There is quite a bit of stuff that you guys can find on my channel, from manga reviews to anime reviews to light novel reviews to Pokemon card opening videos, a lot of stuff. So make sure you're following me, make sure you give some love to each video. Thank you for those who are watching. I know I release sometimes a little bit too much content and sometimes repetitive content, but I try my best to make every video as unique as possible. So okay, here's chapter 9. Chapter 9, we left off chapter 8, essentially, with the investigator calling the florist, or going to the florist to see if it's true that Marie works there. Now, the florist is aware of this, and he lets him know, yeah, she's been working here since the day before yesterday. And he's like, it's pretty recent, but she's been working here. And he informs Mimizuku, which we'll get to that. But Mizuku then contacts Raya and Marie that this is happening. They're like, okay, there is going to be a few more days of these bugs that have battery inside your building. So what you have to do is basically live a life of where Marie actually works in the flower shop, and you go to school, and you guys have this perfect, normal, regular life, right? So that's kind of the plan they go with. And obviously Raya is like, not the best plan. Marie is a little bit unpredictable, and Marie goes and works, and she pretty good worker, to be honest. She does all the work that she has to. I want to say 50% of the chapter is just her working, learning how flowers work, learning how to make bouquets. She at one point finds out that giving a bouquet is a special thing that you do for someone, and you can always give flowers to someone as a sign of thank you. So she decides to do that for Raya, and it's very cute that she's doing all this out of her heart of thankfulness. So yeah, in a nutshell, that all is cute. We get a lot of that cute stuff. It's that dip in the bottom of the series of there's still cuteness to it. Two kids that are kind of falling in love with each other. We do find out that within the chapter, Raya didn't have the best relationship with his father. His father was always so involved and so preoccupied with the rebel group, and that essentially each time they would go out, the dad was always tired. Dad didn't want to do anything, and the only time he had a spur of energy was when someone from the organization would call him, and he would go on a riot, and essentially it ruined the whole day for him, to be honest. But he didn't want to let him know. So Marie definitely makes his day with the bouquet, and it's just the good relationship that they're building. And I hope that the ending to this is not going to be anything bad, but we'll see. We'll see. We're not close to that. We essentially then get a scene where Marie is working still, and she is sent to a sketchy place to make a delivery. The boss can't do it, and the chapter ends with her arriving in what seems to be a butcher place for Jinjins, these android people that she was once one of them, and that's the last scene of this chapter. Now, few things. One, Mimizuku. Who is she or he? Don't know if Mimizuku is a girl guy name. Could be. I know. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I'm gonna think it's a girl. So we don't know who she is, but she is an informative in the underground, and we do know that she has quite a bit of connections, because for her to be able to convince this florist to do all this and basically kind of ask no questions, just do for a favor. We know that Mizuku, the informer, is well connected and more likely could be, not fully trusted yet, because we don't know what her full intentions are at this point. Secondly, we hit kind of this whole Raya pass. We don't know exactly why he is so guilt upon the fact that his dad was killed in this manner, because at the same time it seems like he didn't have a great relationship with his dad. So now that I'm in this spot, it makes me question if he was involved in the fact that his dad was caught, and maybe that's why he feels guilty, and that's why he is trying to fulfill his dreams, was because out of maybe jealousy or neglect, he went off and turned in his dad, which was probably not the best idea to do. So could be wrong, but that's one guess. And then lastly, we get such a cliffhanger in chapter 8, and I was a little annoyed that it kind of all was brushed off in the beginning of chapter 9, which has happened a few times in the series. It's such a roller coaster, and it's like something bad's gonna happen next chapter and nothing really happens, right? We've had that for a few chapters now, so I'm wondering if this is actually gonna open a little bit more action, a little bit more of her killing. Just in general, we know that she's a killing machine, and the fact that we haven't really seen much of that in the past few chapters kind of shows that maybe it's slowing down, and hopefully not too much. So we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can follow me on social media and other places, so go check those out. Thank you again for the support you do show this channel, and I do appreciate all the love that you guys have shown on the ongoing videos on this series. So thank you again, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.